Hey, how's it going? First of all, thank you for giving a shit about this. It's actually kind of cool. Those of you who didn't, they're gonna miss out on some shit. So, first and foremost, I just kind of wanted to go over a quick, brief history of why I'm doing this in the first place, because at conventions I often get a lot of mixed reactions to why I made it. Like, I had a lot of people come up to me and just give a solid reaction of, oh, okay, that's cool. Along with, like, people who are just like, the hell is this? But, not to say I didn't get good reactions, because I actually had a lot of people react to it pretty well. In fact, I'll get to it in a second. But, so, to start off the story, it was about 2011 or so. Me and a friend of mine wanted to go to the Dark Knight Rises premiere, right? So, I had nothing. I was working at a job that didn't pay very much at the time. So, I was basically kind of low on funds, and he was going with his brother, and like they got all this stuff, they wanted to go in it and everything. So I was just like, shit, what do I do? And he's just like, well, you're an artist, you're going to high school for art stuff, make an art thing. And I'm like, none of that makes sense. So he's just like, what can you use? I'm like, so like there's a roll of duct tape, and I'm like, alright. So I just kind of get a hat and I put it on him and I start like taping it around and making like a shell and everything. So I start fitting it on myself. Within 20 minutes or so, I made like a cape and a cowl out of a roll of duct tape. So I was just like, alright. So we go to the Dark Knight Rises premiere, and Kiss 90, what was it, radio station? I don't know, basically Kiss. Which is a local radio station if you don't live here. They were there. They saw me and they immediately like started talking to me and like recording stuff. I'm like, I made like a stupid message. I don't know what it was. I don't know if they even used. I don't think they used it. I doubt they used it. But so that happened. A lot of people give me funny looks. I didn't care. You know, I just wanted to see the movie. Whatever. So, cut to a couple months later, me and a friend of mine are just sort of looking through things to do while we pre-ordered this, actually. Not this exact one, but they came out with like a different model. This is the first of its thing. If you don't know, I'm a Power Rangers fan. So this was the Lexi Power Morpher, which is a replica of the Morpher they used in the show. And, of course, fans could buy it, right? So me and the friend of mine, we ordered one for each other, and we just cut down on shipping, so we just kind of ordered at the same time so it ships to the same place, right? So while we're there, just, you know, like, having fun with it, we're just kind of going through the list of celebrity attendees who are going to this local convention, San Japan, that happens every year. It's actually going to happen this year. And we're just like, well, he's like, I'm gonna cosplay. Are you gonna cosplay? I'm like, I'm broke, man. Like, I can't do it. There's really not much I can do about that. And it's just like, well, why not make one out of duct tape? You know, you made one last time. Like, I guess. So we're kind of going through the list of celebrities, and he's just like, see anybody you like? I'm like, I don't know. So we're like scrolling through, and it passed by John Young Bosch. If you don't know who that is, he played the second Black Ranger in the original series of Power Rangers, but he also plays Ichigo from Bleach, Izaya from Durara. Who else? There's the list goes on. Like, I literally can't cover it all, but he's got a rap sheet that's like miles long. Look it up on Wikipedia or something. It's pretty intense. I genuinely recommend it. So it passed by him, and I was like, I don't know what I'm gonna do. He's just like, what? I think I'm gonna make a duct tape Power Ranger suit. He's just like, And I remember verbatim, like with the same level of like, you're gonna blow it. He says like, well, good luck with that. And I remember that, and I was just kind of like, all right. So, cut to very close to the con, about 3 weeks before the con starts, right? I'm sending him like random pictures of it in progress, and he's just like, you know, he's not making heads or tails of it, he's not really giving a full reaction. So I basically show him, I tell him to go round the back and everything while I'm in full costume, because I mean, I don't want to walk into the front line wearing that just yet, you know, I don't want to scare the neighbors too much. And it came out like this and everything, right? So he was amazed. He was just like, shit. And so, and it dawned on me later, I should have placed a bet on it. I would have made some serious money. It actually came up too. We talked about like making a bet, and like I really should have placed a bet on that. I would have won so hard. So cut to the convention. The actor, I got in line for a signature. I'm standing in this entire thing, right? People are looking at me like, that's amazing, but also kind of stupid, but more amazing so. And I'm getting tons of reactions and everything. And I can't see anything out of this mask. Like, it is fogging up. I didn't know about like this little trick I can do with it to keep the fog from it. So I'm barely seeing a thing. And I can like kind of move my fingers. So I'm just sort of there kind of idly standing by. And I'm just like, screw this. So I just take it off. And I'm kind of standing there in line. So we get closer to the line. We're almost at the tables. And this guy kind of comes up and he's just like, anyone from here on down, you're probably not going to get a signature. We're just telling you now. So everybody was bummed. And we're just like, alright. You know, it is what it is. I'm like, I'm still staying. I'm not going to go anywhere. This is the one and only time I get to do this. So like, we get up more of the line. Luckily, we're already at the table, and I'm talking to the band. Like, he's currently in a band called Eyeshine. It's pretty good music, actually. I think it is. It's just my taste, though. But, he goes, the bandmates are like, dude, is that made of duct tape? I'm like, yeah? And they're just like, tell Johnny. They're, like, trying to pass it down the line. And, like, I'm kind of looking down the line to see if he notices or, like, turns it on. As he's signing, he's just, like, the person next to him just kind of, tells him. You know, you can see him kind of mouthing it. And he's just like, yeah, like he laughs like, yeah, I saw. I was like, so like as we go down the line, I'm just like talking to the bandmates and I'm just like having a conversation. Funny enough, I had a Sentai item, like a Sentai toy item, right, with me as a prop, and they're just like one of them recognized it, and I had a conversation with them about it. So I finally get to him, and I actually no. One of the things that the people that were telling us like no more from here on out, they're also telling us like no photos with him, no nothing, just you know like get a signature, say hi, shake hands. You can kind of take a selfie, but like that's about it. It's all we can do. You know, they were being real sticklers about it, right? Even though there's really no reason to be. These guys are really cool about it, and they're just like, yeah, this is fucking no problem. We're gonna try to go as fast as we can, too. So, like, he literally, as soon as I get up to him, without a word, any word, he was just like, hold on, hold the line. I gotta take a picture with this dude. I was like, ah! So, we actually took this picture. I came to find out, like a couple hours later, some dude's like, yeah, you're that guy on his Facebook. I was like, what? He's like, yeah, he posted like a picture of you on his Facebook. I was like, I'm sorry. And like, I was like really, just that stopped me for a moment. I was like, so I scrambled to the nearest outlet and I'm just like scrolling like, and I just find it. So I had it frame because like the idea that something I made that I was just kind of goofing around at first, and I was like, but I also had like this kind of passion behind it. I really wanted to see if this could work, and it did a lot more so than I thought. So the next day, just to kind of make it official, I actually got I still have this. I kind of took apart the helmet and it's in shambles, but I actually got his signature on the very first duct tape helmet. So I kept it, still trying to keep it in as good as condition as I can. Packing sucks. So to make another story short, I mean real short, because we're running up on quite a bit of time. So the following year, there was a contest going on, and I believe it was hosted by, it was Wonderlands of America Mall actually, which is here in San Antonio. No wait, no, it's Crossroads Mall, same thing? I don't know. Basically, there was a contest going on, and the winners of it got to go to a Q&A that was hosted by the radio station itself with Jason David Frank, and who plays the Green Ranger, and Lou Ferrigno, who plays the original Hulk, if you don't know. And I think I actually have a thing from it. It's actually this. And so I entered the next project in, which was the green duct tape suit, and it won, surprisingly. And so me and a friend of mine, which was the same friend actually who got me into it in the first place, I actually brought him along with me to it. And so another funny thing about that is, as I was signing the information, showing them that I really am who I am and I'm supposed to be there, we just like, as we're signing, everybody's looking at me like, the hell is that? And I was like, because funny enough, the publicist who alerted me that I won the contest, she actually told me, like, she asked me if there was any way possible that I could go in the suit, and I was like, yeah, sure, it's no problem. And I'm just thinking like, oh, well, there's gonna be other people there who are like really supporting it, just me and one other person, friend of mine. And so yeah, to be fair, I think he was kind of creeped out by me a little bit or something, I'm not sure, but he definitely had that like, I'm really tired look. He might have just been tired, he might have been creeped out, I don't know. But there is a video on it, him doing a Q&A. And I might just put a link in the description for that. It's actually really funny. But I am in there and I ask a question. So after that, yeah, it was pretty cool. I wasn't able to take the full costuming because during that weekend I actually worked. I wasn't able to get that weekend off. So I just kind of brought what I could. I didn't want to go in the full costume because that thing is actually really hard to move around in. And sometimes it's been getting better every year, minus this past year, because the suit was perfect this past year. It was the it was this thing that was the killer of it, because it was really hard to maneuver it, and after I got into this, we actually had to patch it back up. It was really hectic. So speaking of which, the very next year I actually did the Gold Zeo Ranger. And initially when I announced that, I was just like, alright, this is gonna be cool, it's gonna be a new challenge. And it was a nightmare. It was, well, not all of it was a nightmare. It was actually really fun to do and came up with a lot of challenges, which I love doing every step of this. But to get this exactly like this, that was, I thought I wasn't gonna be able to do it, but sure enough, which even I'm still kind of blown away by. That one didn't get as much popularity in like just stuff that happened, but however, the Blue Ranger of the current series did like it on Facebook. That's about as far as it went, and I was like, ah! That's really cool. But we also kind of knew him from the group before, which still kind of blows me away that I'm like, that. So out of the collective of time that I've done this, I've come to learn that I had no idea stuff like this was gonna happen, and like the Johnny Young Bosch thing, I had no godly idea that it would happen like that. And it's still kind of a plus to me because, I mean, it's something I made and people are recognizing it. It's really cool. But primarily I make it because it's what I do best. In all honesty and reality, this is what I do best in life. I'm not very good at a lot, but this is what I do best. I make things, I create things. This isn't even this is nowhere near my best. This is literally me fucking around. This is me just like kind of doing it as a practice every year. In fact, I'm kind of currently working on something, but mostly people seem to think that there's this big restraint to being able to do something like this. Whether it's like people telling you can't do it, people criticizing you and making you feel bad for wanting to do something because you were genuinely happy to do it and because you want to feel great for a change, you know? Not that you're not great, but I'm saying like there's moments where you want to feel a lot like you feel when you're watching these things. Now that's the whole reason I do it, is that when it comes down to it, I just really like looking cool in these costumes. I think it's really fun, it's exciting. And the biggest restraint I hear is that people think you can't make a costume and make it look good at the same time. Like you can't make it out of something that's not normally used for that and make it look good and still keep your dignity. But here, I mean, yeah, let's be real here. It's a suit made of duct tape. It's like watching a horse climb out of a minivan. It's like there's no reason why any of this should be working or how this works, but you're kind of just standing by and watching this seasons of events unfurl, and you're just like, all right, I mean, neither are harmed, cool. Nothing's really explained, and this is still a really strange sight to see, but cool. So that's pretty much my reasoning. For good or worse, I just really want to have fun with this. So with that said, and without further ado, I'm gonna have to look for that later. I don't oh well. Of course, this year it's gonna be Kyoryu Gold. And that, because as you all know, I've been kind of jumping around with that idea for quite a while now in making the actual costume. The only thing is, and let me give a good explanation for this because I wasn't able to on the Facebook, so everything got kind of mixed up. Originally, I really wanted to make the helmet, but the thing is, the stuff I had to cast the helmet and to get everything working, all of it just kind of blew up at the molding process. Like it all just sort of like went just like belly side up. So I was just like, well shit, that's a setback. And when I went back to do it later and I started working on the White Ranger helmet, I came to realize that the measurements were slightly smaller. So when I casted it, it would actually come out a little bit smaller than its already small form. Meaning, it would fit on my head, but it would fit almost skin tight on my head. So that wasn't going to work, clearly. So that went awry, and then I tried doing the spandex to it, which I didn't have enough money for the kind that I needed. I was able to get the sewing working, but I wasn't able to get all the materials I needed in time, and then it was looking for the right leather for the boots, and then everything was kind of going upside down. So I kind of had to put it on the back burner until I could fix other things and work on more stuff in the time being. So that being said, I decided, well, this year is a new year, and I really want to do it, and this is one of my favorite Sentais, and why not? It presents new challenges. So that's what it's going to be this year. If you need to look for more pictures on it, just look for it, Kyoryu Gold or Dino Charge Gold for the American one, the Power Rangers one, not just the Sentai one. Whatever. Semantics in this case. For this particular audience, semantics. But I'll actually be doing I might actually be doing a retrospective on that eventually. But for now, let's focus on duct tape. So, I'll catch y'all later. Thanks. Alright, let me get another drink of my coffee. As if I need more. What was that?
What?
There's something in my drink.
Ew.
There it is. What was it?
It's like, what are you?
Get out, foul demon. I expel you from my coffee. I'm just gonna drink it spoon at a time.
What does it look like?
It looked like a speck of dirt,
Sure it's not an ant?
but it dived down. No, it wasn't an ant.
What, it dived down?
I don't know if it dived down, but like it just like went down when I tried to scoop it with the spoon.
The fuck?
The audio and video are capturing all of this. Let me get to that point.